Okay, I hope just a minute. Okay, and yes, so I hope it's time. We can start. I have shared over my screen. I hope it's visible. And let me start. Yes, actually, we are live. Yes, we are live on YouTube also. So now I think it's correct time to start. So hello everyone and welcome. I'm Ilgar Zarbaliev and I'm delighted to host today's session as part of the Azerbaijan Power BI and Microsoft Fabric community. Tonight we are focusing on one of the most exciting directions for organizations. So how Power BI and Microsoft 365 together are transforming data culture and productivity. Thank you all for joining us, whether you are here through Meetup or watching live on YouTube. So before we begin, please share in the chat where you are joining from. And today's session is all about driving a data-driven culture with Power BI in Microsoft 365 to empower decision-making in your organization. And the topic connects directly with our mission as community, innovating, educating, and inspiring professionals across Azerbaijan and beyond. And for upcoming events, you can follow our Meetup page. And it's my absolute pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Maya Shenhav, Principal Program Manager for Power BI at Microsoft. I hope in next minutes she will be giving the necessary info about herself. And I'm truly honored to have her here with us. I first met Maya in September 2024 at the first European Fabric Conference in Stockholm, Sweden, where I attended the sessions delivered by her and her team. Although I didn't have the chance to speak with her then, when I was in Stockholm, we met again at the second Fabric Conference in Vienna, Austria this year. That time I was able to connect with her in person and invite her to speak at our meetup group. And I want to extend my special thanks to her for accepting the invitation. And we also love to highlight what's coming next. Our upcoming speaker is Zoe Douglas, and we'll share more details on that event soon. Zoe Douglas opened 2025 session. She was the first speaker and she's going to be the last speaker in this year. And a little bit about the rules. This session is live streaming, and of course, it means that it's subject to sharing. Please use the chat for your questions, and we'll address them during the Q&A session or maybe during the process. Be respectful and supportive. And then I would like to give a little bit info about session schedule. For the first 5 minutes that I'm doing is introduction by me, and then will be presentation by Maya, and at the end we'll have a Q&A session. So if you would like to collaborate, present at one of our events, or reach out with suggestions, here are the contact details. My email address, zarbalia@excelworld.org, and my phone number. I'm located in Azerbaijan. So here I would like to stop sharing and just to deliver stage to Maya. So Maya, you can go on. Thank you.
Thank you. It was great to seeing the pictures. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Great. So hi everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. My name is Maya Shenhav, and I am a group product manager at Power BI. I've been working for Power BI since 2011. That's, I think, 14 years now. Who can imagine that long? And as part of my role, I'm actually responsible for something that we're calling a contextual experiences. And basically, it's a fancy name to say that I'm responsible on the Power BI experiences at M365. And this is actually the topic of the session that I will be delivering here today. And I think since we are such a small group, I'm okay to take questions or maybe even open up for discussion during the session. So if someone has any question or comment or things are not clear enough, please just chime in and we can discuss that. Is that okay?
Yes, and we have some people on YouTube also, so I hope there will be questions. So you may go on. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so let's start. So let's start first with what is Power BI mission. Power BI mission is to drive data culture within organizations. I'm sure that those of you who've been with us for quite some time, this is not the first time that you see that sentence or that slide. Our goal is to enable you and your organization to drive data culture. That means that data should be accessible to everyone, accessible for you to make every decision. Our GM really likes to say that decisions needs to be made based on facts and not opinions. So this is what we're trying to do with Power BI. And at any scale, either it's a small decision or big decision, we want you to have the data to back up your decisions with data from Power BI. And Power BI basically is the bridge, right? Is the bridge between the left side of this slide, whereas the professional developers who build data solutions, okay, where you build semantic models, you build data lakes, you build your data pipelines, and the entire data estate solution. That's what you have on the left in Fabric, and on the right you have your business users, the information workers that eventually will need access to that data in order to be either productive or make those decisions that we were discussing before. And Power BI is the bridge. And all that right part that you see here, that's where we will be focusing our discussion today. So when you think about Power BI and M365, we have multiple experiences in all kinds of products. We have, and we will try to go over all the experiences that we have. Some of them you probably know because they are part of those products for quite some time, and some of them are new. So I will be trying to focus more on the new things, but still I will give an overview of the existing features that already exist for quite some time. And again, if you have any question or any comment, feel free to chime in and we can discuss it. So when we look at that circle and all the product, you can think about two main goals that we have when we are integrating. First, when we are thinking about how Power BI in Teams, in OneDrive, and in Outlook is integrated, then the goal is actually to improve sharing and collaboration. We want that people will be able to share their insights with each other and to collaborate on those insights and to help you and your users to find content. So that's the goal of the integrations and the experiences that we have with MS Teams, OneDrive and SharePoint, and in Outlook. But when we're talking about our experiences within PowerPoint and Excel, so we're taking that actually to the next level, and we want that data and insights will be integrated in the business content that information workers are creating. So if I have a manager that creates a PowerPoint presentation and uses that PowerPoint presentation afterwards in some meeting that decisions need to be made, I want that presentation will also include the facts that are required to make those decisions. And for that, we build a dedicated experience of Power BI inside of PowerPoint, and we will see that shortly. So that's the rationale and the themes that basically leads us when we are thinking about the integration with M365 products. I'll pause here for a second to see if there is any comment or any question coming.
There is no question, so you may go on. Thank you.
Great. All right, so let's start with Power BI and OneDrive and SharePoint. So a while back, we've made a very big investment with integrating Power BI content to be part of M365. What you can see here, this is M365. It's your go-to place where you can find all your M365 content, your files, the Word documents, presentations, and also Power BI reports. So whether those reports are in your OneDrive or even if they're published to the service, we are integrated with M365. So you are able to see and find those reports here. They will appear at the recent list. So if you view them in your Power BI service, you can see them here under My Recent. If someone shared them with you, you will see them here under Shared. And it's basically for the information worker who comes to work every morning and goes here to find the content that they need in order to make a decision. They will be able to find Power BI report here as well. They don't have to go directly to the Power BI service in order to start engaging with Power BI. So that's the first thing. Next is we've made a close integration with OneDrive and SharePoint. So you no longer have to, it is still recommended, but you do not no longer have to publish PBIX files into Power BI service. You can just save them in your OneDrive, and once you open them, they are live and connected, just like a report that was published to the service. And the nice thing is that when you keep a Power BI file in your OneDrive, it behaves like any other OneDrive Office file. So if you're sharing it to someone, then that someone will get an email, a notification about it, and will be able also to open that report from their email and get into that view without the requirement to publish it to any workspace in the service. It doesn't mean that you no longer need the Pro license in order to share content. That requirement is still there, but still, you no longer have to explicitly publish reports to Power BI service. Next thing, that's basically something that I really, really like about our integration with OneDrive and SharePoint, is that you can utilize Office version history. So those of you that are using GitHub integration, that's much more robust than Office version history, but for information worker or for the less developer persona, a persona that is more closer to the analyst one, leveraging the Office version history is very, very easy and comfortable to use without the hassle of connecting to any Git server for version history. So all of that are the benefits of using Power BI as part of your OneDrive and SharePoint. The next surface of integration and experiences is Power BI and Teams. And we started that journey with Teams, when unfortunately the pandemic started. We all remember the COVID time. So we understood that Teams is the platform when people collaborate and chat. And even though today we are meeting, using Zoom, Teams is the equivalent tool that we provide, and we wanted to make Teams the one-stop shop, or the one place where teams and organizations are collaborating and using, and Teams became a platform, not just a collaboration tool, but also a platform that can host other tools, and in our case, it hosts the Power BI app. I don't know how many of you know that you have a Power BI app integrated inside of your Teams tool. So you can actually access Power BI directly from Teams. You don't have to go to the Power BI service through your browser. You can get to it through here, the apps catalog that you have, and the experience that you will get is very, very similar to what you see at the Power BI service. So that's one surface that we have integration with Teams. The next place is actually with chat and channels. You can also pin Power BI report into a chat. So imagine that you have a chat on a topic that you are discussing and collaborating some specific topic constantly using a specific chat. So you can attach to that chat or pin to that chat also a Power BI report. So everyone will have the same joint view on the data in order to make that collaboration in that chat more informative and data-driven than, just everyone needs to go and find the data whenever in the service. So you can just pin a report and everyone have access to that report through the chat. The next one is, I think, one of the most used feature is when you are using a link to a Power BI report and share it across, your teams using Teams chat, we generate something that is called preview card. So instead of just having the link, you understand that this is the Power BI item. We show you the name. We give you the option to get a summary with Copilot for that report. And recently what we did is we also allowed, when you open that report, instead of taking, the entire stage, we are opening that in a separate window next to the conversation that you got that link. So you can really focus and have collaboration around that report from your chat. So this is our integration and experiences that we have in Teams, and many more will come in the future. And last thing that we have in Teams is also notifications. So in Teams, in Power BI, we are leveraging Teams as a platform also to deliver you important notifications that we don't want you to miss. So if someone shares an item with you, a report, a dashboard, an app, you will get notification from in Teams, so you won't miss that item that was shared with you. If someone mentioned you in comment, if you have a semantic model with schedule refresh and that refresh fails, you will get notified when that happens. So you always be in the know and be able to react on those notifications and don't miss a thing. All right. The next experience that I wanted to discuss is our integration with PowerPoint. And to be honest, this is my favorite because I was the original product manager who started with that. So don't know how many of you know that Power BI content can be integrated directly into slide in your presentations. So basically think about it that you can enhance your presentations with data, with insights. And as you can see here in the demo, that data is live and interactive. So, and up to date. So let's say that we have a meeting and I've prepared a presentation. For myself, I can tell you that I have a monthly business review with my managers, and every time I need to show, the usage, customer satisfaction, how many incidents I have, how many open bugs, all that, quantitative data, I'm sharing through the presentation using that capability of embedding Power BI content directly into my slides. And the beautiful about it is that it's not just it is interactive. All Power BI capabilities are available for me. So, for example, if my manager is asking me a question about the data, and I need, for example, to filter the visualization that I'm currently sharing, I'm able to do that directly from the presentation and be able to give an answer and respond to my manager question on the spot. And if we need to have a discussion about that data, then we can do that as part of the conversation and the meeting, and I don't need to take, action item and tell my manager, let me check and come back to you. So I have it all in my presentation, and that really facilitates the data-driven conversation and decision making. Another benefit of using Power BI add-in inside of PowerPoint is that you can think about a presentation as a place when you can curate content that is coming from multiple workspaces. So if you have a set of reports that you care about and you need to track on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, you can create yourself a presentation that have those reports embedded in that presentation. And you can just go over one presentation, seeing the insights that you care about, getting, a quick understanding of what is your status, and moving on with your day. On here, you don't have to go to Power BI service and open a report and then the next report and then the next report, or bundle everything into a single app. And if reports are all across the service, then not in the same workspace, you cannot. So if you can create yourself a collection of all the content that you need in PowerPoint, that's really a productivity boost. Another nice implementation that you can do with our integration with PowerPoint is to leverage both slideshow and automatic refresh that we have in that integration. I don't know if you've noticed that, but while I'm talking, and this is live, by the way, let me show you that it is live. You can see here the Power BI icon. You can see the tooltip. So it's not video this time. This is live, and you can also see the data is refreshing, because I have the ability to configure the view here that it will fetch new data from Power BI every up to 15 seconds in my case, and leverage that, for example, in a public display. So if I really want to create a data-driven organization and make sure that my entire organization is aligned on the same KPIs, let's say that I have maybe sales KPI, maybe production KPI, quality KPI, and I want to have in a public display across my organization presentation or views that shows me how well we are doing with those KPIs, I can easily leverage the Power BI integration in PowerPoint, create a presentation, place that integration in the slide, and just publish that or run that on my public display, making sure that everyone are aligned on our shared goals. All right, the next feature that I want to show you with our integration with PowerPoint is annotations. So what are annotations? Basically, annotations are additions that you can add to Power BI visualizations that are embedded into your presentation, and add some additional context to data points. You can select a data point on your presentation and add some additional data points. So if you, for example, showing a trend line of your sales, and there is some outliers, and you want to add some context about why this outlier happened and what is the explanation, because you did the analysis and you have the answers and you want your viewers to see them, then you can use annotations. So annotations can add contextual clarity, can also focus your audience. So if you're presenting something that has many, many data points and you want people to focus only on specific data points, then you can use annotations for that. And as I said again, it also helps with the readability of the data, because you can add explanations on the data to the data point. Let me show you how annotations look like, and then I'll pause because I think we have some questions or comments in the chat. So here is my slide, and I can just right-click on a data point. In this case, the proposal bar. Right-click and add annotation. That text box automatically created for me. It attached to the data point, and I can start add my context. I can also reference the measures and the values from that data point. So in here, 37 is the measure of the opportunity counts, and also the proposal is the value of the category. And that's all I need in order to create annotation. Of course, annotations, I can have more than one on a chart. I can add as many as I need. And they are now attached to the data point, and each time I will open the presentation, I will see the annotations attached to it. I'll pause here. Igor, is there any question or comments that?
Yes. There are 3 questions from YouTube, so I copied and pasted here. So
Okay.
one is related to OneDrive, the
Mhm.
other one is related to Teams, and the third one is related to best automation method to get the same size PowerPoint, I hope. So do you want me to read the question or
Yes,
you?
please. Or do
Okay.
you want to leave them to the end and I can read
Okay.
at the end? Up to you. I'm okay with both.
Okay. So let's leave to the end so you
Okay.
can go on with your presentation.
All right. Okay. And the most newest capability we just released at FabCon Vienna, I think, is something that we call Power BI Controller. That's based on feedback that we got from you, our users, for cases where you have, more than, 2, 3 instances of Power BI inside a presentation. You wanted a central place where you can basically control all the instances instead of going slide by slide and performing the same action. So we recently introduced the Power BI controller that is added, as you can see here in the presentation, to your right as a right pane, where you can pick an operation that will be applied to all the Power BI add-ins in your presentation. One of the most popular operations that we know that our customers are doing is freezing the view into a snapshot. So let's assume that I have a presentation and the data is live and I'm preparing for tomorrow's review. And I don't want the data to change on me, right? I want the data that I will present tomorrow to be the one that I know that exists and I know how to explain it, so I can freeze it using the snapshot option. So instead of going slide by slide and changing that option from live to snapshot, I can do it with a single click using the controller, and this is what we see here. So let me now wrap it up with regards to Power BI integration with PowerPoint and show you a demo that shows us how to work with it end to end. So I'll start with having a slide title. And why is that important? Because when you embed Power BI control into the slide, we actually look at the title and we are suggesting content from Power BI that might be matching to your title. In that case, since it was Contoso Gym, we were looking for reports and apps and that has Contoso and Gym in your Power BI subscription. Once I've selected that, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell it that I want it to be automatically refreshed every 15 seconds. This is exactly how I built the slide that I showed you before. I can, just because I like boxes, can draw a border to that. And once I play the presentation, you can see count 15 seconds with me, that every 15 seconds, the report will refresh itself and fetch data from Power BI, showing me the latest and freshest data that exists in Power BI. Again, this is a very simple example just to show you what you can do with it, but I'm sure that you will have much more interesting use cases for that feature. Next is annotations. So again, I can select a data point and add annotation and start explaining. So I see here a huge peak with, what is it, sales or something. Then I can add my comment into that data point, explaining how we have recovered from from that dip into this great performance, and explain that summer sales are a major contributor to the numbers that we are seeing here, for example. Okay. And I also have the option, if I want to, and let's assume that when I'm presenting this presentation, I don't want annotations to show up for some reason, I can hide them. They are not going anywhere. They're just hidden, and re-show them as I choose to. So this is the annotations feature, and let's see one more time the Power BI controller. So it has its own button. And here I can decide what action I want to apply to all the slides that I have here in the presentation. as I said, one of the most popular one is to change all the live visualizations into a snapshot. So, oops, I'm sorry. Oh, that's me. Okay, here it is. Let's play it again. I'm sorry. What I wanted to show you, have a look here. This is now live, but once the controller will finish its work, I expect it to show us that all the add-ins are becoming snapshots. So let's wait. What happens now is kind of first it needs to discover all the add-ins and then to apply the operation on them. And you can see here the status of the work. And once it completes, okay, it tells me how many were successful. You can also see here that its status changed to snapshot. So now this is an image and I cannot I don't have to worry that the data will change when I'm presenting my presentation, if that's what I need. Okay, so that was Power BI integration with PowerPoint. And the last topic I wanted to cover, how I cannot, is Power BI in M365 Copilot. Which, you know, that's like the hottest topic at Microsoft nowadays, Copilot. And we, of course, have many initiatives of integrating or introducing Copilot experiences. This is not the topic of this session, but it's part of the collaboration and work that we are doing with M365. We are also integrating with its Copilot. So first of all, Power BI can be found, okay, using M365 Copilot. So when you search, when you are engaging with M365 Copilot and you are asking about content, Power BI content will show up as well. Not only your files, your Word document, your emails, your meetings, but also your Power BI reports and apps. Apps are easily findable in M365. So Copilot scans not just titles, but also report metadata and visualizations, like visualization titles and dimensions, info boxes, and filter values. And it tries to find the Power BI reports for you, not even if there is exact match between what you're searching and the title, but also based on the content. And that area will continue to improve. Let's see a demo here. So if I'm looking for control cell, you can see that I have multiple items. Some of them are Power BI and some of them are not necessarily Power BI. So again, you have one-stop shop. That's the M365 that you can go to and search for your organizational data, no matter whether it is structured or unstructured data, whether it's Power BI or Office documents. And here you can see the properties and you see the summary of the report. So if you find something that is unfamiliar to you, you can have a look at that. This is available at M365 Copilot search. So just to help us orient and understand which Copilot to use for what, there's this table that compares between the M365 Copilot search versus Copilot chat versus Power BI Copilot, which I'm sure you all know that we also have in product Copilot. The Power BI Copilot, we call it Chat with Your Data. That's the one that you can ask a data-related question with natural language and get answers about your data. Or you can use the report Copilot if you need some help with creating a report, DAX measures, documenting your DAX. So many Copilot experiences. I'm sure that you've heard about it a lot, and you will be continuing to learn about it more because we are innovating all the time around that area. So these are the three options that you have, and each of them is serving a different goal. The M365 Copilot search and chat, it's based on Microsoft Graph that also includes Power BI, while the Power BI Copilot is based on Power BI and Fabric data agents solely. So that's also a difference between the copilots because the context they are covering is a big difference, obviously. And the last thing that I would be covering here today is Power BI and Excel, and this is our, I think the oldest experience or integration between the two, and many of you, I'm sure, are experts with Excel, probably more than I am, by the way. So Power BI and Excel, this is a bi-directional integration, right? So there are, you can of course connect Power BI from Excel for advanced analytics. That's not new, and you can do that for a long time now. Just insert a semantic model as pivot table and just start working with it and build on top of it. Let's see that demo. So I connected to my semantic model. I can pick which tables and what data I want to add to my Excel sheet. I don't have to pick the entire model, obviously. And once I'm done, just insert it into a table, and that's actually live connected, and I can work with it in Excel. So that's one way of the integration. And the other one is from Power BI, we can actually host Excel sheets. So if you have this Excel that has its data and you don't want, to upload that as a semantic model, that Excel sheet can be hosted in Power BI and be part of your app, for example. So users can view not only Power BI reports, part of your app or dashboard, but also Excel sheets that are integrated into the app. And I think maybe a year ago or maybe less, we introduced one lake catalog in Excel. So you can also connect to Lakehouse and Warehouse directly using the one lake catalog. It's the same one lake catalog that you have in Power BI service, where you can find, the content, you pick a table, and you can load it into your Excel sheet. This is also available. I feel that I talked a lot, but this is actually the last slide that I have today, just as a recap. So what we want to achieve is that to make sure that business users and information workers, they don't need to be Power BI experts to enjoy the benefits or the insights that Power BI has. We want that Power BI report will be as familiar as possible to those users, that Power BI report will look like any other Office document. That means that they can store it in their OneDrive, they can share it from OneDrive, they can find it in M365, that M365 Copilot is aware of them. So it is easy to find content, Power BI content using M365. And it is also easy to integrate insights from Power BI in other Office documents. So people who don't usually go to Power BI for insights will find those insights in those documents instead, in PowerPoint, in Excel, as we just saw. So basically, that the data that you and your customers are creating inside of Power BI and curating will be accessible to anyone who needs to make decision. We want those decisions to be data-backed decisions. And I think that this is the end of my presentation, and it's time for Q&A.
Thank you very much, Maya. You have not talked more. It's always a pleasure to listen to you. I'm very honest with it. Because most people are there. For example, in Azerbaijan, more people are interested in Excel, and last days there are a lot of integration from Excel side. Like, for example, we know that Excel is going to be integrated also Fabric, right? So this kind of stuff happens, and it's very good. So really, it was very interesting. We have some questions in the chat. And if you want, actually, I have gathered them from YouTube. There are a few, attendees on YouTube channel also. So it says that a report connected to an Excel file in OneDrive does not refresh automatically when the file is updated. So how to fix it, and what's the reason of happening it? So this kind of question.
I don't know, but I don't think that we have the concept of refresh automatically when the underlying data is changed. You need to trigger a refresh, but I don't have the exact answer for that. I'm sorry. I can follow up and check if that was supposed to work and is a bug, or is this by design? Don't know.
Okay, and the next question is saying that why might a Power BI report load slowly inside Teams compared to the browser?
It shouldn't, but it shouldn't be slower as far as I am aware. So if someone is experiencing that, I would recommend to open a ticket with us, and we can investigate together to see what are the reasons that we see that degradation with performance. It shouldn't be that.
And the third question is about automation method to get the same slides every week, for example. So
Power BI Controller it was built exactly for that. So let's assume that I have a presentation, and every week I want that presentation to be updated and saved for an archive, for example. So I'll start with a blank presentation. I create it and embed the Power BI content that I want in it. And using the Power BI controller, what I need to do is just to change all the add-ins to snapshot and then to save it. Next week, I come up, I open the presentation, I save it, and I use the controller to change it to live view. What live view does, it refreshes the data, make sure that you have the recent data in your presentation, and then again change it to snapshot so it will capture the current view, and again save the presentation to your archive or to your disk or to OneDrive. And that's basically with 3 or 4 clicks, you have that process being done for you. And of course, if you just want images and you don't want anything else in the presentation, you can also use APIs to create some kind of automation just to export a specific report as presentation. And that basically creates images, presentation based on images, but I'm not sure, it depends on the scenario. Both options are available and valid.
And a learner asks that with RISE or data analyst agents, how I don't understand this question. Relevant, will Power BI continue to be, or will Microsoft integrate agents into the solution, making the data cleaning, transformation, and presentation simplified?
So that's interesting. Yes, so data agents currently operates mainly on top of Excel and is based for ad hoc analysis on Excel files. Power BI Copilot, on the other hand, works and operates best on top of semantic models and reports. So in terms of grounding, the two are serving through a different set of grounding data. But the statement here is correct. There is a longer roadmap of blending everything into a single copilot that has multiple agents and or maybe tools that can do different things. So we are working on collaboration, on integration and merging capabilities. That's a roadmap. We are still not there. We will be there soon, I hope.
And last question is about Excel. So, and the asker is, interest in the reason of not refreshing the pivot table that connected to Power BI?
I would guess authentication, but it's only a guess. Again, if you are experiencing something that is not working as it should be, please open a ticket with us and let's investigate together. And if we have an issue, we will work on solving it. We need people to report on issues so we'll be able to improve our product.
So that was the end. Last question. I would like to thank you everybody for being part of today's session. Thank you, Maya. I know it's the end of year. Not many people joined, but 11 is more than 10. It's also okay. And 10